watched the interview I did with Eddie Griffin about
Yeah,
Bill
a little
Cosby.
bit. I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
What was your take on that?
You know, again, I go back to the congregation reference. You know, even comics are fan of comics. And based on everything that Bill Cosby has done for Black America and Black entertainers, if it wasn't for the Cosby Show, I don't think we could have the Obamas. So Bill opened the door, man. He kicked it open. So I think comics feel a certain sense of loyalty towards him. But I always say, man, all these Black entertainers accused of doing dirt, they all can't be innocent. You know, acts of evil and wrong come in all shapes, just like idiots. You know, Black people could be idiots, white people could be idiots, Hispanic, Asian. So you mean to tell me there can't be no famous sex offenders? There can't be no famous rapists? There can't be no famous killers? You know, of course they can, and there have been. The only difference is entertainers and people with power and money are in position to get away with it a lot better than ordinary folk.
So pay people off.
Right, it pay people off, hire better attorneys. You know, money is power. You know, and do I believe Cosby did it? Look, for the first 84 women, I didn't want to, but when it got to 92, I said, man, something up.
I mean, you do know that Bill Cosby does not approve of the type of comedy that you do.
Sure.
You know, he's spoken out, you know, not you in particular.
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
But you know, he spoke out against Eddie Murphy, and
right.
He didn't like Black comedians swearing and doing dirty.
That karma is something else, isn't it? It seemed like at some point it'll come back and bite you in the ass. Bill Maher, who's not a fan of, I don't know if he's a fan of, well, he can't be, because I'm a big fan of Bill Maher in Real Time on HBO, so I watch the show religiously. And he always slams Bill every chance he gets. And he had the best line. He was like, you know, for so many years, Bill had been hitting the Black community about what they should and shouldn't be doing. Now these Black kids are telling them, hey man, pull your pants up.
Right.
So irony and karma is a motherfucker, man. You know, do I believe Michael Jackson did it? You don't want to, but to me, something don't smell right. Do I believe OJ did it? Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, I know, you know, Black people, we want to protect our own because we've gotten railroaded so much throughout American history by the judicial system. Yeah. But goddamn, they can't all be innocent.
Right. And I remember the OJ, when the OJ verdict was read.
Right.
And, you know, I think my best friend at the time was Black. And he was celebrating, and I'm like, why are you celebrating? Do you really think he didn't do it? He goes, no, I know he did it. But Black people have been fucked over by the police so many times. It's nice to see it go the other way just one time.
Yeah. You know, again, I one thing about this country and one thing I've noticed about white people, you guys don't take losing well. We have been getting screwed over by the justice system since the beginning of time, since we were in chains. And the one time we win, y'all, everything changed. I live in a white neighborhood with white neighbors. And I remember after the day after the verdict, I went to go get my morning paper and saw my neighbor. I said, good morning, Tom. He said, is it? Is it? So,
is it a good morning?
Right. And when y'all lose, man, y'all rewrite the script. So it's you know, I'm joking about it on stage now. I just wish Black people and white people would just see race so differently. Like we really, really do. And whenever I get on social media, on Twitter, and I engage with people, I hear white people say the same things over and over, which tells me we're not on the same page. Things like the cops killing Black people, it's not racial, it's economical. It's poor versus those who have money. So I'm thinking all these Black people that have been killed by cops, it's a shame these niggas was broke. Because if they had money, they wouldn't have been killed. That's ridiculous. You know, we've been told by you guys so many times to get over it. Oh my God, slavery, the 60s, civil rights, it was so long. Why can't you guys just get over it? And again, I go, well, the thing you keep telling us to get over is still slapping us in the face. Subtle but not so subtle racism that we face every day. You know, I've been doing stand-up for 26 years without fail. I've been to every major in small city within the United States. And every time I get done doing a show, I go hang out at local bars and nightclubs and run into the dress code list. Here's what's on the list. No baggy jeans, no sagging jeans, no Air Force One sneakers, no Timberland boots, no extra large white t-shirts, no excessive jewelry, no gold and platinum jewelry, no gold and platinum iced out grills, and no do-rags and fur coats. Now that's all the shit niggas wear. The only thing missing from that list is no niggas. Now, while you don't want niggas in your club, you got white people in those clubs dancing and partying to hip hop and rap music and reciting the word nigga in the song where it's being said every 6 seconds. And they looking at me while saying it. What up, nigga? Nigga, 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 nigga. Meanwhile, all the real niggas is outside and can't get in because they niggas. So, you know what I'm saying?
How do you take that? Because that's an interesting point. Like, for example, I never use the N-word.
Right.
If it comes
As you shouldn't.
Right. And if it comes up in a song that I'm quoting, I will just skip.
Listen,
that
if
word.
you're in the privacy of your own home or you're in your car with the windows up and the word come on, say it. It's very liberating. Just make sure when you say it, you look straight ahead. You don't want to be like, yeah, my nigga, and there's a black dude next to you looking over at you and he can see you. So just say it, but you know.
Okay. So what is your take when a white person is, you know, quoting a Lil Wayne song and they use the N-word?
As long as they don't use it around me. And
around you.
They can't.
They can't?
They can't. Because there's going to be a problem.
Some violence
and
will happen?
And it bothers me when there are black dudes out there that have white friends that allow them to do that. Like I often see black dudes that date white women, especially white women that act black, because they think they niggas anyway. They'll use the word nigga in front of their man in reference to him. And I want to grab this motherfucker and go, nigga, what is wrong with you? Are you serious? You should never be that comfortable to allow a white person, your woman or not, to call you a nigga.
Well, I think what happens with white people who use that word is that it becomes accepted around their black friends.
And that's the problem.
And then they assume because their black friend is okay with it, that they could turn around and use it around other people. Like, you know, for example, there was some years back, there was a girl named V Nasty. I don't know if you remember this. She was a white rapper. Well, she was part of this group called White Girl Mob with this girl Creation.
Right.
Who had the song
Creation?
Creation. She had a song that was kind of like a viral hit. She got a deal. She ended up getting dropped. You know, her album flopped. But this girl V Nasty, who was using the N-word freely in her raps, in her interviews, et cetera, I actually interviewed her, and she grew up in East Oakland. You know, has, you know, 2 biracial kids.
Right.
And what she told me, which was actually kind of interesting, she said,
all they say is she shouldn't be saying the N-word. She white, she ain't from the hood, she ain't raised like this. This is a culture, this is voodoo, this. Like, come on, but y'all don't know me. Like, this is where I was raised. This is how I was raised. It's not, I didn't even know it was a problem somewhere else, because I've never been nowhere else. So I'm supposed to know how y'all feel about me.
you've never really traveled before?
Hell no, like, nah.
Huh, okay.
Nah, I didn't travel before I started rapping.
Wow, and she found out, didn't she?
She found out.
Where is she now?
She found out.
You know, white people often ask the question and don't understand why they can't use it. How come you guys can say it? That's another one. How come you guys can say it, but we can't? Because there's too much, in terms of the history of that word, there's too much blood on that word when y'all say it. You know, when black people say it, there's kind of some blood on it too, because with all the black on black crime, before a nigga kill another nigga, he usually calls him a nigga. Fuck you, nigga, bam! But historically, between the 60s, lynchings, slavery, whippings, police brutality, water hoses, German shepherds, bricks, sticks. I mean, it's just too much historically, there's too much blood on that word coming out of y'all's mouth for us to be able to let you get a pass on that. So in a nutshell, that's why you can't say it. And to the white community, stop telling black people what we should be worried about. Because that's another one. You guys go, well, instead of being worried about police brutality, you guys should be worried about black on black crime. More black people die at the hands of each other than the police.
Right.
Okay, well, first of all, it's not y'all's place to tell us what we should be worried about, okay? Black on black crime is a very serious issue, but that is an internal issue. That is a locker room issue.
Right. Well,
that is a family issue. Don't worry about what's going on in our locker room. That's up to us to handle.
Well, I just want to say also that when you do have black on black crime, the person doing the crime usually gets caught and goes to prison.
Well, not only that, number two, I have no say or control over what some ignorant nigga decides to do in the streets. If some ignorant, dumb motherfucking nigga decides, I'm gonna kill another black man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I got no control over that. I got no say over that. But I should have some say and control over what my police department does. Because the last time I checked, my tax dollars pay them to protect and serve us, not abuse and kill us.
Right. Well, I think there'd be less, I mean, this goes back to the point I just made. I think there'd be less of an outrage if all the cops who were killing black people were getting sentenced to life in prison or the death penalty or all the stuff that the black on black crime perpetrators are doing.
Right, and look, let's hold that fire to both feet.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to be responsible for what another black man does in the streets, then how come the good cops can't be responsible for what the bad cops do? I don't care how much people scream, not all cops are bad, and that's true. Not all cops are bad. But if you're a good cop and you know the bad ones, and that's a brotherhood. Being a police officer is a brotherhood. Yep. They know who they are. If you're a good cop and you don't tell on the bad cops, you're just as responsible.
I agree.
White America, I will take all your responses on my Twitter at Aries Spears.
I understand that mindset because I have that because you don't believe in somebody so much, you just joke on them. Like, I'm gonna joke on you, I don't believe you. So I understand it, but I want hip hop, period, to stop the shenanigans with that type of shit. Like, yo, motherfucker, rap, go rap.
My monthly overhead for my household and household employees was somewhere in the neighborhood of like $1 million a month I was spending.